I think that this is the first time that I have ever done a Zoom from bed. But when thinking about this, I'm not going to lie, my first thing was, oh, I could cancel tonight, or I could message somebody and have them go through. The slides are already made. But here's what I want y'all to see in all of this. And if you're watching this recording back, I know that some of y'all do this really, really well, but you will always, always have times in your business where you don't feel like it. And I am a big believer that there are some times where you have to listen to that intuition and you have to follow it. But I'm also a big believer that when you can push through it, that's when the big stuff happens. And so I know at the beginning of the month how many of us were like, gonna add 13 people, we're gonna be on the cruise in the first day. And then it doesn't happen. And it's kind of that like ebb and flow that we always talk about with this business. And then we start talking about, the stop and the start. And maybe this isn't meant for us. And maybe this isn't what I was supposed to be doing. And maybe next month I'll do this. And maybe it's the times where you stop, and Ange and I were talking about this today. It's the times where you close the back door. Wendy and I were talking about this too. When you close the back door and you realize that this can be the answer for so many things, when you stop giving yourself another way out. And sometimes that looks like, oh, maybe tomorrow I'll do it. Oh, I didn't earn X, Y, and Z. And so I'll wait for the next thing to come around. Or that person didn't end up being my runner. I'll wait for the next thing to come around or the next person to come around. And it's that stop and start, that ebb and flow that creates that self-fulfilling prophecy for us where we're not as far as we want to get. And so I almost think that I'm going to start every single Zoom from here on out. Probably actually not, but with this, because when I was going through to kind of put some slides together for this tonight, this was still in here from a couple of weeks ago. And it absolutely reminded me that it's not linear every single step of this, right? There are moments in time that will absolutely change the trajectory of your business if
Yeah.
you're willing to stay consistent. And it does not have to look like you doing 72 hours of work every single day, right? Not possible. We all have lives. I don't work that much, right? I don't work 12, 14 hours a day unless sometimes at the end of the month when it's a strong push, or at the beginning of the month when we're trying to get some stuff ready. It's this consistent actions done over time that really are going to move your needle. Now, that being said, if you are wanting to earn this cruise, if you are wanting to make an extra $500 this month, if you're wanting to make an extra $1,000 a month, you have to plug in more, right? You cannot have minimum wage work ethic and have $1 million goal. It just doesn't happen. But if you can stay the course and you can stay consistent and you can come up with a roadmap, that's where you're going to get. So tonight, zoom in from my bed because that's what felt the most comfortable with how I'm feeling right now. But it's those moments when we keep moving forward with people. So last week, best week, it's already the 23rd. We have one more week in this month. And I know because I do it too. Sometimes at the beginning of the month, we hit it hard. And then in the middle of the month, it's kind of like maintain status quo. And then the end of the month, we realize, okay, if I'm going to do this, I've got to do this. I know so many of you are excited about this. You have to start thinking in terms of duplication to get these incentives. This is not something where you can just the last day of the month be like, oh, hey, you should go silver tonight. Most people won't go silver in a day. That is why you use the systems and the tools that we already have set up, right? Asking them who they can invite for Thursday's event. So remember that this incentive, it's helping 4 people this month, and then you helping one of them help 3. And I know that so many of you are so excited about that. Really quickly, we still have the $10 off for new VIPs and then the $10 off. This is not for people that just haven't ordered in the last 30 days. I know I had that question where somebody ordered on like August 15th and now it was September 22nd. And so they hadn't ordered in 30 days. It's in the calendar month because that's the way that our system reads stuff. So if they did not order in August, they can use that $10 off in September. We're going to go through some stuff for you to be able to kind of see how to organize your back office to really plug in for the rest of the month. And that's one of the things that we'll talk about is how to see if people have or have not ordered last month. Remember, rank rewards this month. If you re-rank, if you have not hit your rank, wherever your benchmark is, we're going to talk about that this month too. You can get those rank rewards still back. All right, cruise. Just to take a look at this, y'all, this is something that is completely doable. Do not count yourselves out because you are not where you want to be. The end of the month is coming. Everything is doubled, but we also still have October, November, and December. So if you're doing the comparison game, like so-and-so already has this many credits, a lot of those credits right now are coming from retention, from people that added in July and August. You want to keep on building because those people that you add this month, they're going to give you extra credits in October, November, and December when they keep ordering. So set your sights on this. I mean, what would the cruise for you and your guest of choice do for you in the middle of February? What would it look like if you got to be able to go on a $2,000 shopping spree to Bloomingdale's? I can tell you the first time that I got to do that, I walked around the store and cried like a baby for the first like 35 minutes because I could not believe that that was life. Because when we started this, my kids were 2, 3, and 5, and I was working through, this was the third job. There was no time for extra. And so when we say borrow belief, I borrowed belief. I didn't think it would happen for me, but I watched other people do it and I knew if they could do it, so could I. That's the belief that you get to borrow. So remember, same systems, same consistency. I just want you to intensify your speed. If that's where your goal is, if that's where your heart is to be able to do this, I want you to intensify your speed. Okay, if you have questions about this, I want you to stop and ask them because the next week it is super, super important that you have a roadmap of where you're going. This is a benchmark rank contest and also a rank up contest. The benchmark rank is your highest paid rank since May of this year. My highest paid rank is as a diamond. I have not held diamond since before May. So my benchmark rank is sapphire. So even though I've ranked higher, my benchmark rank is not my highest rank. So to find out what this is for you, and you can do this right now, if you haven't done it yet, you need to do it because it can drastically change your points. So go into your back office, click your points and rank. You're going to see this little thing down here. If you click on this month, I just screenshot all this stuff today. If you click on this little thing that says month, it's going to pop up and it's going to look like this. You can click on every single month back through to see where your points were. That will give you your benchmark rank. So if your benchmark rank, if your highest paid rank is gold, but your benchmark rank right now is senior silver, when you re-hit gold, or if you hit gold for the first time, you're not just going to get 80 points, you're going to get 160 points this month. If your highest is senior gold and you're senior silver and you hit gold, you're still going to get it. It does not matter how high you've ranked up, it's whatever your benchmark is. So drop in the chat now, how many of y'all know what your benchmark rank is from May, June, July, or August, what the highest mark is that you've hit in there? Okay, Ashley is senior gold. So Ashley is a perfect example. Her highest paid rank is Ruby, but she has not re-hit Ruby, and that's the normal ebb and flows of this business. When she re-hits Ruby this month, instead of just 120 points, she's going to get 240 points. Jess, yours. So you're silver, your rank, it's not really a benchmark, or it is a benchmark rank for you, but your rank is silver. You have not yet hit senior silver. So when you hit senior silver this month, because you're crushing it, And when your new person starts sharing and go silver this month too, because now you've tapped into the Amish community and that's huge, you're going to go senior silver. You're not just going to get 60 points. You're going to get 120 points for you and Jabin to go on that cruise. Okay. This is why it's so important, because you need to be able to have a roadmap of where you're going. Okay. So Robin, perfect example. She is senior silver. She has maintained senior silver. She's on her way to gold. So when she hits gold this month, because her team is crushing it, she's not just going to get 80 points, she's going to get 160. Does that make sense to everybody? You need to know what that benchmark rank is, because you can see that's a huge, huge chunk this month of what you're going for. So when Nikki re-hits senior gold, she's going to get 200 credits for going back to that. Everything here is doubled. Now, here's the other piece of this. Let me make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. Why is it jumping? Okay. Here is one way that you really need to take advantage of this. In your back office, you need to take a roadmap of your subscriptions. So you need to get into your back office tonight, tomorrow, in the next 24 hours. I do not want anybody waiting until the 28th of this month, and we all do it. It's like, oh, I don't know where my points are going to be. And then on the 28th of the month, Mina's like, I've done it with you for years. On the 28th of the month, we wake up and we're like, ooh, well, that's not right. It should have been way higher. And then we're like, maybe I'll just wait until the 1st and then I'll hit it really hard. No, we are not doing that. We're not waking up on the 28th of the month and realizing that we should have done more. We're starting now. Sorry. Okay, so this is really important. When you go into your back office and you hit points and rank and you scroll down, you're going to see something that looks like this. You want to organize your dashboard by subscription. So you can click on subscription. It will organize, no matter if you have 3 people in your back office or 300 people in your back office. You're going to take the points that you have now, and you'll be able to see who has on a subscription, what their subscription is set for, and how many more points they're going to give you. If they have already ordered this month and they're already giving you 6 points for level 1 or 5 points for level 2 or 3, they're not giving you more points when their next subscription goes out. But you can see, like, this person, it runs on 9/27. It's for 255 PV, but they already had an order that shipped out. I'm not getting more points for them. This person, it's set for 192 PV. They're a level 1 for me. They don't have an order that shipped out yet. So when I'm factoring in my points, I know that if I have 50 points, when that order ships, I'm going to go to 56. Why is this so important? Because then I know how many orders I have to make up. If I'm Robin and I know that my goal is 100, and I know that my points, when I add up all those subscriptions, it's going to end at 70 points. I know if I take 100, because that's where I want to be, and 70 is where I'm going to end at, I need 30 points to be able to hit that 100. Does that make sense to everybody? Drop in the chat or unmute if that does not make sense to you, because that's super important. Then what I'm going to do with that 30 points is divide that. I divide it by 5. That means I need 6 orders to be able to hit my next rank. I'm going to put 6 lines on a piece of paper then, and I'm going to work to fill up those lines. Does that mean I'm only going to message 6 people? No. That means I'm going to message a lot more, because not everyone is going to order. Those points can come from new people, or they can come from people that you already have. When you organize that and you see something that looks like this, and there's a subscription run date and it's blank, it means they're not ordering unless they do a one-time order. They do not have a subscription set up. Excuse me. You have to have a roadmap of your back office. How many of y'all have avoided your back office because it's depressing sometimes to get in there and be like, oh man, one more person just turned it off? Me, I have. And I know some of y'all have too. That's okay, but it's not okay to stay there. Because if you're not getting into your back office, you cannot see where you want to be and what you have to do. You have to know how many orders you need to make up. So you're not just raking leaves in the wind or waking up on the 28th. Okay. The other thing about this contest, y'all, is that your level 1s and 2s count. So when they re-rank or when they rank from their benchmark rank, oh man, you're going to help. They're going to get points and you're going to get points too. So you can also organize by paid rank and see, like, this person on our team was a senior gold. They're a silver ambassador now. That means that if they re-rank to senior silver, they're going to get those double points too. And you can do the same thing. You click on their name and you go back down through this list to see what their highest paid points were so you can help them. If you don't have this printed out, I want you to screenshot this. This is what you're working for. This right here is huge, huge, huge. I have a level 1 that I just started working with this week. She's signing her first person up as soon as we get off this Zoom. They just messaged me right before I hopped on. She's doing triplex and metaburn. So instead of 20 points, it's 40 points. And it's 100 points for her. That is so largely belief building, y'all. Make sure you know on your team who's loving their products that you can help invite to the event on Thursday. Because here's the deal. If you help somebody go silver, you're not just getting 20 credits for them, you're getting 40. Plus, at the bare minimum, you're getting another 30 for the people that they've added in. That's 70 credits for helping one person help 3. That adds up really, really quickly, y'all. Especially when the next month you get retention credits for them. And this is something that's cumulative. So, Nikki, I see your face. Nikki had somebody that ordered this month and they didn't order 100 PV in their first order. That's okay because they can go back in, and if they order more, it counts. It's not like other contests for those of you that have been around for a while where it has to be 100 PV in their very first order. You'll still be able to get those. Does anybody have any questions on this part of it? Okay. I want you to just screenshot these. I'm not going to go the whole way through them. Some of you, if you were on the call with corporate, you may have seen this. This is for somebody that's new, but also something that you can do if you help with any rank or re-rank. So helping 6 people enroll, hitting a rank, which it would help most of you do, or to re-rank, it would give you more than half of the credits you need this month. And then you still have 3 more months to be able to help. There are so many different breakdowns for this. Do not get locked into one thing. Yes. Can you add 13 people this month and earn the cruise? Yes. Do I have a social media following with tens of thousands of people that haven't started Plexus yet? No. Adding 13 people is a lot, but adding a couple of people and helping them add people, that is much more doable and much more sustainable. And this is something, just 1 second, I'm almost done, baby. This is what I really want you guys to see. When you do this, you're also going to earn an extra $600 with it. Just for that month. That's huge. And when you keep on doing it, they've mapped it. I'm skipping through this because we have 10 minutes. At the end of doing these and earning those credits, starting with just 500 credits this month, by the time the bonuses, the payouts, and the points come in, Over the next 4 months, you've earned an extra almost $3,000 for Christmas. That's what I want y'all to see. That when you really come up with a roadmap, when you really plug in to do the work, it adds so much value far beyond the cruise. The cruise gonna be amazing. It always is. But far beyond that is what you could get to do with the impact that you get to make. Okay. Questions about any of this or around helping other people do it? What do you feel like is your biggest stumbling block right now that if you could change tomorrow, you would earn the cruise? Nothing. So we're all going to earn it tomorrow.
I have people who want to order. I have carts out and they're like, oh yeah, I want this, and not ordering. So I don't know, like I don't know. I have like 4 people that last week they were ready, and then and this happened every month. Like, oh yes, I want to do this. Send me a cart, I'm ready. And then they don't.
Are they responding to your messages at all?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So here's what I would do. I always take it off of them and just send a follow-up message. I know that you're so excited to get started with this because of X, Y, and Z. I have a few extra minutes tonight. Why don't you send me your information and I'll get it ordered for you? That's why I know that the girl that's signing up right after this is signing up because we've been in a chat for 4 days now and she kept talking about it. And then I finally was like, this is what you need. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Can I place the order for you? So it's on the way. And she sent me, I don't know this lady. She sent me all of her information. Don't be afraid. It's kind of like back to what Sadie was talking about, right, on that call. Your level of belief with follow-up, and does it work with every single person? No. But your level of follow-up with people and your confidence in yourself and in the products and in the opportunity, that's what sells it to people. Try that with them. Just like the very direct, this is what you want. If they are not answering back, I have a couple of people that were like that at the beginning of the week that hadn't seen my messages or hadn't responded. And so I just messaged back with them like, hey, I know that life gets super crazy active. You haven't seen this. I just wanted to bump it back up because I know how important this was to you. Is everything okay? Or if they've been seeing it, I just switch it a little bit and say, it's not like you to not respond. Is everything okay? Because it takes it off of the plexus piece of it and just gets people talking again. And sometimes then they'll come back. Like I had one girl that messaged back. She was ready to order. She actually had started an account and she didn't have her credit card with her. And then the next day she got into a little bit of a fender bender and she was like, I couldn't order then. Well, I had no idea. Excuse me. So then money was an issue for her. So I started talking about being able to host a party. When you know their objection, then you can help them overcome it. It's just about getting them talking again. Yeah. Wendy, I always love your honesty. Because when we know, right, it's like that roadmap. If we know what's standing in our way, and I ask myself that question a lot, if I could change this one thing that would make me want to sit down and message, that would help me help you, that would help me get to the next rank, what would it be? What would I change? And almost all the time, we know the answer, right? It's just getting into action. So make sure for those of us that are on here and do this for your team. I have a girl that has 3 people underneath of her, but they haven't ordered all in 1 month. And so I sent her a message today. I was like, you are so close. You're going silver this month. It's going to be an extra $100 bonus. And plus, you're going to get this much for points. You win. That's all I said to her. And she messaged back. She was like, yep, what do I have to do? People aren't in their back offices like we are. And so if we're not pouring down through and looking like, okay, who has people with them? Who is a senior ambassador or who has one person that I can help get to more, and put that in as your focus. Because if you're only ever recruiting, you can't ever work on duplicating. And that's that next piece of it, is really getting them to invite to events. So spend time. That's my challenge to you in the next 24 hours. Get into your back office and start route mapping all of that out. Where do you want to be at the end of this month? And if it's overwhelming to you, if it's not something that, you know, the first time you do this, it can be a little bit extra. I don't want to say hard, because we choose hard, but message me and I'll go through it with you. Okay. We'll map through subscriptions. We'll see how much more you need to be. All right. Any questions before we hop off? I'm proud of you, ladies. Huge shout out, Nikki and Jess did. It was like a 7,000 week long vendor event. At least that's probably what it felt like to them. But they both had new ambassadors off of it in the Amish community, which is huge, huge, huge. We have several diamonds in our company that have solely built within Amish communities. And so I'm super excited for them to see where that takes them. Nikki's hosting an event on Saturday, and she has a couple of people coming to her house this weekend. Denise is doing one on Wednesday. So I love it. There's going to be lots and lots and lots of action for the end of the month. And thank you, Wendy. I'm going to bed right after I say goodnight to my kiddos. All right. Good night, everybody. Love you, ladies.